Hi, this is Rochelle with Scrapcraftastic, and I've received quite a few questions about these word page marks, and they just slide out like this. This one is a piece of the Dollar Tree poster board, metallic poster board, that I die cut using my Silhouette, and I just laminated it. It's not the sturdiest, but it's sturdy enough to hold paper. And I've received a lot of questions about this one, and I also have this one here that just says to do. Then I have this style as well, where the words are cut actually inside of the cardstock. And here's another one that's not laminated yet. So I have a template on my website for these. Oh, one more. This I it's too flimsy, but I cut out of a piece of the faux acetate that I made using glitter for the inside. I was just playing around seeing what would work. If I had a heavier laminate, that this would work better. The Hobby Lobby here has 5mm Scotch brand laminate pouches, so I plan to go by there and pick some up using that 40% off coupon sometime this week, and I'm going to try again. But I think for these, really, ideally, unless you're using a pretty heavy cardstock or paper inside of this, that using a heavier laminate would be better. It would be more sturdy. But I also noticed that the Dollar Tree version is a lot sturdier, so that's just another option. Anyway, so here is the template. I don't know if you can see that. I have this available on my website. It is an SVG file. It has JPEGs, pings, anything you would need to cut with a Cricut or a Cameo or a Silhouette machine. I know not everybody has that, and I've really been trying to come up with a way to make it easier for you to make these page marks without that type of machine. There's only one way that I can think of to do it so far, and that is if you have some alpha stickers, and it's still going to be a bit tedious. So I don't have a lot of alphabet stickers. Most of the ones that I have are like the thickers. They have some thickness to them, and I don't think that would work well. I did have another pack, and I cannot seem to find them anywhere. So, but I did buy this pack for another project, and I decided not to use them. So I'm going to try and show you another way to do this. You would still need this template for this. You would need either this one or this one, the plain ones. Now you can still use this, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut one out. You can still use this to make your page mark. You're just going to have to be good with scissors, and if you have a small pair of scissors that are easy to do detail with, then you can use these as a template, or actually print on the cardstock that you want to use and just cut them out. And basically all you do is cut it out, laminate it, and cut around the laminate without getting into the seal. And I'll show you how to open up this inside piece real quick. But see, you can just cut these out, fussy cut them. You could probably use an X-Acto knife to cut the small little details on the inside and make your page mark. These aren't my scissors for cutting tiny details, but you get the idea. Just a matter of taking the time to do it neatly around the letters. And I'm not going to spend the whole time on the video showing you how to do this because it could take a very long time. But like I said, you get the general idea. Oops, I cut this wrong. Okay, so then I would just go in and cut out the details. Now, this one, let's put these away. This is how it looks once it's cut straight out of the digital cutter. This is just regular, I think it's 62 or 65 pound cardstock from Michaels. You can also print it on the 110 pound cardstock. I think that will give you more sturdiness. You just have to be a little more careful where you cut with the laminate, because the seal around the part that's not sealed around the edge of the paper will be wider because the paper is thicker, if that makes any sense. But I think using 110 pound paper will give you a sturdier page mark. This is one I'm going to show you how to open up this little inside area here. I'm going to zoom in. So once you've cut your piece, you've laminated it. Here, let me do one that this one didn't laminate well, so I'm just going to do, this is what I laminate them together, then I'll just go around the edge and trim off the excess laminate. These are easier to do when trimming because they are basically a straight cut. Clean up. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one away because that's a. So once you've got the outside of it cut out, whether you're using one that's shaped like this at the top or one that's enclosed in the page mark, you just need to take a blade, a craft knife, I guess is what I should be calling it, and open up this area here. So basically what I do is find the center of that laminate and cut right in the middle all the way down as close as I can get to the middle. Do the other side. Then I open up the bottom, trying to stay as close to the center as possible. And you kind of have to make sure your corners meet. Okay, so once your corners meet, it pops open like this. Can you see that? Okay, now as you can see, it kind of gets stuck on the laminate. That's perfectly fine. Let me zoom out some. That's gonna happen because, I mean, there's no space in between. You can take your scissors and cut an additional slither off of that little inside flap. What I've been doing is just rounding this part here. And that seems to help with that. So just round, and plus it gets rid of that sharp edge. I didn't do a very good job cutting this open, but it's kind of hard at this angle. So it's open, and you can just slide it on your paper. Slide it this way or the other way. And that's it. Well, that's behind, so you can't really see it. See there? And this one works the same way. It's just a little more tedious to cut all the detail out around here. And really, if you know how to do it, there is a way to do it on the silhouette as far as cutting the laminate, but for no bigger than this is, I'm okay with just cutting the laminate up there by hand. If I were actually selling these, I would try to do that with my silhouette to make them exact, but I'm not selling them. So what I will do, because I know so many people do not have a silhouette or a Cricut or anything to cut these with, is I'm thinking of going ahead and just cutting a bunch of these out, a complete set. So I would have a today, this week, this month, a set of each of these. Let me zoom back out. I'll do a die cut set of each of these, including the blanks, as a package. They will not be laminated. It will just be either this weight paper. I'll do some in the heavier weight paper, and I may even do some with this poster board. I may also do some with just some design paper, some scrapbook paper. I'll do a variety and put them in the shop. So let me know in the comments below. If you're following me on Instagram, let me know on Instagram, or contact me through my website and let me know. If you're serious, I will cut a bunch of these and you can laminate them on your end and cut, trim them up yourself. So that way you can use whatever laminate you want. You can pick the paper that I have on my site available, and I'm rambling. I'm going to go ahead and cut out a couple of these and come back and show you how to use the glitter stickers or any kind of letter stickers to customize your page marks. Okay, so I'm back. I've cut these out using my silhouette, and this is what they look like once you cut them out. I use the shimmer paper, the shimmer cardstock from Michaels, and I don't know if the shimmer is showing up on camera or not. It's very subtle, but again, this is not the heaviest weight cardstock, so they are very delicate when you cut them out before you laminate them. And even if you only have the lighter weight cardstock, you might consider doubling, printing 2 of each and gluing them together, or putting them together before you laminate. That will also make them a little more sturdy, but just wanted to show you what they look like once they're cut. So these are all the ones that you get in the with the template and the cut files. So I'm going to put those aside, and I'm going to work with this blank one. So let's just say you don't have a silhouette when you purchase the template. You can easily cut this one out because there's no letters to cut around at the top. And what we're going to do, I did find some more letters or alpha in my stash. So I'm just going to use these to put my own title on this page mark. And I'm trying to decide if I want to use the gold or the silver. I think I'm going to use the gold. Now, the main thing about doing this to make it look good is to make sure you line your letters up correctly and try to get them as centered as possible. If you look at the alphabet, some letters are wider than others, so you kind of have to account for that when you're setting it up. And what I like to do, if I can find a piece of paper, so what I like to do is actually write out the word that I'm going to use on a project like this. So I'm going to use lists. I'm just going to write it out in the same format as my letters. So I'm going to use these, the gold. I think that'll show up nicely on that white. And kind of look at what I've written to determine where the middle is. So I'm going to say that this S is in the middle. I might shift it a little to the left because the I doesn't take up much space. If you do this, you can kind of get a feel for how your letters will flow. So I'm going to say, for the purposes of this, without getting too technical with it, is the S is going to be in the middle. So all I'm going to do is kind of guesstimate where my center is. Well, I'm not really guesstimating. I'm going to figure out where my center is. And to keep from marking on this, I'm going to use a piece of washi tape. Let me find one that I don't use much to make my line, to give me like a guideline. Okay, so I'm just going to use this tape to kind of guide me as to where I want my letters to line up. Put my washi tape down. So I'm going to use this, the edge of this washi tape, zoom in. The edge of the washi here will be what I butt my letters up against. You probably need some tweezers depending on how small your letters are. I hope these tweezers work okay because they are not my favorite. And I'm just going to do all caps and hope for the best. So we're going to start in the center with the S. Maybe I should have made my line go up a little more, but okay. And I'm not going to press them down completely until I get everything on there. Hopefully they won't automatically just stick by themselves. See, this S is already over further, so I did need to kind of account for that I. So I might adjust a little bit just to make sure it's centered and my I is crooked. Okay, so I'm going to leave well enough alone and go ahead and press these down carefully. Gonna carefully remove this washi tape. If you use washi tape to do this, make sure it's true washi so that you're not peeling off a layer of your paper. Just gonna use the washi to get up any stray glitter from the letters, and this is what we have. So that is ready to be laminated. So I have my laminator warming up. I'm just going to cut a small piece of this laminate off. I'm not going to waste the whole sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and laminate this. So this is how it turned out. It's laminated. And now I'm just going to trim off the excess. I'm just going to use my craft knife to open that up. You could probably use a ruler. I just don't because it's such a small cut. So there it is. And again, you can round these little edges on the inside. You can trim off more of the laminate. It's up to you. I don't. I just kind of round those corners. And then I'm going to move this one out. And add this one. And that's what it looks like in the notebook. So there you have it. The page mark without the die cutter. Again, I did kind of cheat and use my Silhouette to cut the basic shape, but you could easily just cut this shape out by hand if you don't have a die cutter. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll also link to the files for the page mark. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.